Good evening, everyone. I call this meeting of the Winthrop School Board to order. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic. All right, looks like we have all of our board members. We are missing Abby, our student representative. She's at a soccer game today. Well, good luck to her and the team. Okay. Are there any adjustments to the agenda?
There are not.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the Winthrop School Board meeting of December 3rd, 2025 as written.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any discussion at all? Okay, all those in favor? Thank you for your unanimous vote. At this time, we will open it up to the public for any comments. That involves folks in the room and folks on Zoom.
No one on Zooms.
Oh,
Quiet there.
okay, seeing none, we'll close our public comment section and enter into our reports, starting with our superintendent report given by Dr. Foley.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I have two resignations to report this evening. Beth Siverett, the nutrition worker, and Mark Sparks, the social studies teacher at the middle school. We are in the process of advertising for these two positions, and I know for the middle school positions, we're setting up interviews for next week. Alicia and I attended the Town Charter Commission last Tuesday. We answered questions that they had, and we were able, or the Charter Commission was able to finalize the school budget portion of the charter. I know tonight the high school drama department is performing The Legend of Sleepy Hollow at 7 o'clock. If you are available, please go out and enjoy the performance. It is sure to be entertaining. I'm sure you've also seen the news recently about the two bus tragedies where students were killed accidentally by the bus driver. All school districts make safety their number one priority, as we do here. And we recently provided training for our drivers, which focused on preventing this very thing. The training consisted of having a guided conversations with the drivers about the factors that impact safety. Part of the training was called 7 Mirrors, 7 Seconds, which is all about the driver should check each of those 7 mirrors before ever driving away. My sympathy goes out to those districts who are grappling with these tragedies. The town manager, Anthony Wilson, met with our third graders last week to teach them all about town government and the life of a town manager. I was able to attend that, and it was right here in the multi-purpose room, and the students really loved learning all about their community. And I think that the highlight of the talk was when K9, the police dog, made an appearance and jumped up on the table right there, Tim, I think in your spot, and that created a lot of laughter by the kids. And he definitely was, I would say, the highlight of the session. We continue to review the different department budgets, and we'll conclude these meetings before leaving for the holiday break. I look forward to presenting our initial budget to you at our first meeting in February. And our budget for this year is still in good shape, and we see no signs of needing to freeze the budget, which is good for all of us and for our students. We also had a joint safety meeting with the town last week. Chief Furlan was there facilitating the meeting. Other people attending was the town manager, the EMS director, the public works, the principals, special ed director, myself, and Colleen, the transportation director. And we will continue these monthly meetings and talk about how to improve safety in our schools and town for at least, I think, the foreseeable future. Alicia and I met with the new board member, Jason Burnham, for his board orientation in the last week. We had a great discussion, and Jason will be joining us beginning in January. And so I would like to thank you, Ivy, for your 3 years of service on the board. And I think what I most appreciate about you is that you're not afraid to disagree with me at any time. And I truly feel like the many conversations that you've challenged me on has encouraged me to reflect on how we can continue to do things better here at Winthrop Public Schools. I know that serving on the board takes an incredible amount of time and care and dedication, and I truly appreciate the commitment you've shown. And so I think you saw when you came here your little gift that we have for you tonight. And it's just, I know, a small token, but it is just a sign of that we appreciate the 3 years you've given to us. So thank you. And that concludes my report for the evening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Foley. Does the board have any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll head into the chair report. It's a quick one. As Dr. Foley had already mentioned, I did attend the Town Charter Commission meeting on December 9th and also the orientation for a newly elected board member, Jason Burnham. And we are still working on negotiations. And I did want to echo Dr. Foley's thank you to Ivy on behalf of the board. We thank you for your service. And that does conclude my report. So we'll head into our student representative report given by Gianni this evening.
Both the boys and girls basketball teams have gotten off to a great start of the season. The boys have started off 2-2 and they play at Trape tomorrow. The girls are 3-1 and dominated their last game. They play tomorrow at home also against Trape. The Nordic ski team had their first meet this weekend at the Waterville Sprint Festival. Sam St. Germain posted the third fastest time of a group of more than 70 racers. Their next meet is this Saturday at Sugarloaf Outdoor Center. Tomorrow, the bell ringers will come during wind to give a performance at the high school. And the drama club performs The Legend of Sleepy Hollow tonight at 7 p.m.
Thank you so much, Gianni. Does the board have any questions or comments for him? Okay. Seeing none, we'll head into our committee reports, starting with finance.
Yes, we met tonight and we did payrolls 11, 12, 13, and warrants 10A, 10B, 11A, and 11B.
Thank you. And policy? Libby, do you want to report out?
Well, we did meet last night, and the reason I looked at Libby because Ivy was called out, but we reviewed, I don't know, I think about 10 policies that will be coming to you, not tonight, but at the next board meeting in January.
Thank you. And for negotiations, we have met and we have several meetings scheduled out until the new year. Okay, and in your packets for item 4.5, we do have our administrator reports. Those are attached. Does anyone have any questions about those or comments?
And I just wanted Principal Dufour to come up and talk about a couple of things that were in his report that I thought were worth highlighting.
Thank you. Good evening. So there are a couple of things in my report that Dr. Foley asked me to highlight. One is there is a snippet at the end of my report about a potential pilot program that CATSI is putting together, CATC, where sending schools would get a couple of spots for freshmen and a couple of spots for sophomores to do an exploratory program. Again, a feeder program for CATSI, which is traditionally for juniors and seniors. So this would be a career prep and an exploration program for students that we would identify that might be a good fit or potentially go to CATSI as juniors and have some hands-on experiences doing some career exploratory type of work. There isn't really much of a framework for this yet. The principals met on this a couple of weeks ago, and I met with the regional principals last week, and we talked about a framework where potentially we might try to do something regionally where we would offer something in our buildings geographically where we could potentially offer this program to more students if it was successful. So again, 2 spots for each grade level is not a huge number. I'd like to see more, but again, this is a phase 1 of the planning of this program, and hopefully it's something that will grow over time and provide some real interest with our kids that might need more of a hands-on approach earlier on through CATC. So we're really excited about this potential. The second thing I wanted to mention is the administrative team. It was the high school's turn yesterday at our admin team meetings for the high school to do some observations around intentional instruction and literacy. So we had a little bit of a smaller group yesterday, so we're only able to get into 2 English classrooms. And the administrators were able to see some real intentional literacy work being taught and some very high levels of blooms. My 2 teachers asked for some feedback, and administrators besides myself were able to provide that to those teachers so they can learn and grow. The last piece that I wanted to highlight is we continue our paradigm shift at the high school, and my work and my collaboration with Megan White to hold some curriculum meetings after school throughout the year that replaces some of our other required faculty meetings and committee meetings, and at least 1 to 2 per month during the year for 30 minutes, where we pull all the kids off of the teachers and allow them time to be able to do some things in their cross-curricular and content area groups. I can't say that teachers have been super excited about this work, but I think they understand the importance of this work to be able to really move our agenda with, student outcomes and student proficiency forward. And I've asked them to trust the process, that if we put the time in and we're intentional about this practice, that it will pay dividends down the road. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does the board have any questions or comments for Principal Dufour? Yes, Ivy?
Just a quick one. So are the 2 spots for each grade level, is that per like little semester or for the year?
That would be for the year and would be 2 spots in each grade level for each sending school.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Oh, I did have a question. Let's see, regarding and this may be a silly question and maybe, well, Teresa Violet's not here, but is she on Zoom at all?
What's here now?
Wondering what the funds go to for the Scholastic Dollars. Is that a book program? I know what the Scholastic is, but I wasn't
Oh,
sure.
the book fair. Yes, usually that money goes into a student activity account, and then it can be used to purchase books for the classroom, but it also could be used for other things that are needed throughout the year.
Oh, it was a good amount of money raised, so that's
It
wonderful.
was great. It
Okay,
went
great.
well.
Thanks for answering my question.
Not a problem.
Okay. So we'll head into our old business starting with 5.1 to approve the following policies for second read. We have IKF, graduation requirements, DJ, bidding purchasing, DJR, the federal manual, DKC, expense authorization and reimbursement, DKC-R, procedure for expense authorization and reimbursement.
Oh, so moved.
Thank you.
Seconded.
Any discussion at all? Okay, all those in favor? Thank you for your unanimous vote. Okay, and item 5.2 to approve the following Title IX policies for the first reading. It's tabled from our November 19th, 2025 meeting. ACAA-R, Student Discrimination, Harassment Complaint Procedures. ACAB, Harassment and Sexual Harassment of School Employees, and ACAB-R, Employee Discrimination and Harassment Complaint Procedures.
So moved.
Seconded.
And discussion? Yes, Ivy.
I want to raise concern regarding the proposed Title IX policy revision adopted November 12th, 2025, and the ongoing manner in which these policies are revised and interpreted. Each new version, which I have multiple, so I'm not sure as to which one, appears to change key definitions, procedures, and authority, creating confusion and undermining protections for students, family, and staff. Policy allows school personnel, including the Title IX coordinator, to file complaints on behalf of students without consent, removing the autonomy of victims and creating potential for misuse, including advancing agendas or protecting the school rather than safeguarding those harmed. Authority over investigations, determinations, and formal resolutions and appeals is centralized in the superintendent and the Title IX coordinator, creating clear conflicts of interest and limiting impartiality. These changes continue to cross different versions of the policy, often after concerns are raised, leaving victims and families with little voice or no control. The policy also allows emergency removal of students or administrative leave for employees without hearings, bypassing due process protections and causing potential harm. With restricted appeals and minimal family involvement, these procedures continue to shift interpretation, making it impossible to ensure fairness and accountability. While the policies is presented as compliant with federal Title IX, it deviates from guidance designed to protect compliance and prioritize their safety, often redefining harassment and sexual harassment ways that favor institutional protections. Each new version or reinterpretation of the policy increases the risk that victims' rights are compromised while the school shields itself from responsibility. In summary, the ongoing shifting, inconsistent policy versions and interpretations create serious concern. They limit due process, concentrate power and conflict administrators, and risk weaponizing protections against victims and families rather than providing the safeguards the law requires. These issues must be fully addressed before any policy is implemented.
Thank you, Ivy. Any other comments from the school board? Okay, do you have any response at all to that?
I don't.
Okay.
Gooder.
Yes, Ivy.
As I was tasked with last thing, the policy that we left with the last meeting is different from the policy that I got. I don't have access to any of the other changes. But with what policy I got last from yesterday, this is the information as I went through.
Is this one packet
This is
for,
concerns
is this, okay.
as the board requested during the last meeting. To add. Did share my concerns and what I was.
This is a lot to digest in this.
I think what I would ask is for you to approve the minor changes that are in the policy you're being presented tonight from the ones you adopted in April. And then what I could do at a future policy meeting is bring this document. I think what is still, I'm trying to absorb this. Ivy, you've bolded the wording that you have concerns with. For example, the AAO Title IX coordinator may file a formal complaint even when the alleged victim chooses not to. But where is your alternative wording? Like, what would you like to see there instead of that? Because that's really what the policy meeting and I think the board needs in order to consider alternative wording.
Well, I would have had that information available, but I was blocked from all access to my information to be able to do that. Also, the different policies, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, as well as many other little notes, it's all I could compile. When I looked at the last time that we had a meeting which was the last school board meeting, to this school board meeting, it has changed once again, the proposed information. Yesterday, what little information I did get on the policy meeting that we're supposed to attend, all of a sudden, when I got there, this policy was added again without any knowledge to myself through email or through contact or anything that we were going to discuss this. So I wasn't able to be prepared to bring that information with me. So that thrown on the agenda at the last minute without any knowledge, really set it up for a discussion. I did pulled out the wording out of the Title IX, this new version that has come to light, and provided my concerns. I don't make the policies based on myself, nor do I feel like I should have to give you the correct wording. I mean, we all know what the laws is. The one thing that I admire on this board is that there is many different perspectives, there's many different political sides, and I think that we've challenged each other on all different perspectives. And that's making sure that we're ensuring what we're doing for everybody and every student and family and teacher, and not just one political or one viewpoint. So for me to be able to provide that, I think is not fair to all the constituents. Those are the concerns. Those are the words that conflict with FERPA. They conflict with federal, state. They conflict and violate a lot of the students' rights. Through personal experience filing Title IX on the sexual assault of my own child and the failures that I and my child face, the off-ramping, the colluding, the retaliation that I have endured for the past almost, 2-3 years, just trying to safeguard my child and follow policies and procedures that were weaponized against me and my child. And the retaliation and the biases continue today against me and my family. So this process, I fight and I bring up a different opinion, and I will always challenge anybody's perspective and provide multiple, is to ensure that victims, because my priority stands on the victims, us adults can get through stuff and we don't have to worry, because if it's not our child, we're tucking in at night going through a crisis, we don't put much thought. But as a parent, tucking your child in or being affected because your school policies are weaponized against you, leaving you voiceless, creating biases with the gossip that goes between schools, because we're all human and not just children gossip, but adults do. And nobody these days seem to want to sit down and have a conversation directly with that person to gain an understanding of the situation. We listen to the slander or the gossip that we all know that creates larger situations than what it was, which is harmful. And you add on to the burdens of families that are facing these situations, and you're re-victimizing children. So every time that I had to face retaliation or my children, you are re-victimizing my whole family and my child who's been sexually assaulted. When I did the investigation, the investigator even stated that Title IX, the harassment and sexual harassment policies conflict, and it leaves the victim, with no safeguarding. It also leaves parents, at an end. Through my own personal experience, and I won't get into details because I like to keep my stuff to myself, but I know how biases can cause further issues for impartiality, for fairness, and for due process. One thing that really is concerning is that, as school board members, our job is to ensure that policies, procedures, laws are followed. We are that safeguard to ensure that the weaponization of policies are not weaponized against teachers, staff, administrators, but most importantly, students and families. And when families in our community are feeling like they are left voiceless and helpless without any empathy or guidance, school board members don't always know all the guidance. Sometimes we're misguided. Sometimes we haven't been in the stand long enough to understand how all these things work. But it's just really unfortunate. And my job is I care about the students. I care about the families, and I care how it impacts the overall education of a child. No matter how much a parent likes to hide stuff from children, they are still they are still impacted. When the community retaliates or makes comments about families that are trying to advocate, whether they understand or not, it impacts students, because being bullied or feel like you don't have a voice is the most damaging thing any student can ever endure, or family. And the fact that we don't prioritize that, or I don't feel we do, is really hard. I have faced a lot of slander. Nothing has ever been corrected. So people continue to point biases towards me and my children. And I think that's really unfair. And I know I'm not the only family member. It has been hell in this district trying to do the best for every student. And unfortunately, I'm one of those people that are crossed between this political warfare that we have going on. As a member of the gay community, I am one of those families that are crossed between the far left and the far right. And the fact that we allow that to affect our students is extremely concerning. We forget that the whole child, and if we're really concerned about the whole child, we'd be concerned about the mental well-being. And when parents and people that should be reflecting, community members, teachers, staff, all of us, adults, do not reflect what real integrity stands for and real non-biases, then we're really guiding our students. But I do got to give our students some huge kudos. I see more integrity and honesty and resilience and care from our students than I do any of us adults, the administrators of our school, the school board, and everybody else, myself included. That should shine above, and that should be an amazing example for all us adults that can't set aside our biases, and that our students are reflecting that more than we do. I think it's time that we stop slandering and gossiping and making assumptions based on, the hearsay of others, and start showing students that how we sit down and have conversations to gain a better understanding. Because not once with all the lies or the stuff that have been put in papers or said at school board meetings, has one person ever sat with me before they created a bandwagon discussion about the kind of person I am. Which is really sad as adults, that we don't do that. The fact that affects my students, my child, my 8-year-old child has high anxiety going to school now because of the impacts that I have received for advocating for my child who was sexually assaulted. Yes, us adults make mistakes. We all do. But as adults, we should be able to put this stuff on the table and take accountability and figure out how we're going to move forward, making the best decisions, not create this lack of accountability, weaponization of policies, or deflecting and reflecting. Those are things that we as adults should be doing. Title IX policies, this fight that has been going on just to make the correct corrections to this is really upsetting. I think we're forgetting the real people involved. And when a parent doesn't have the measures to safeguard their child, because things aren't being, or this is being weaponized, or there's wording in here that don't belong in here. We have separate policies for a reason. When we start mixing policies, you create big loopholes, and it just weaponizes the policies. This policy continues to create unfairness for children. Watching my child and my family
Ivy, I'm going to ask you to wrap it
do
up.
this, but this needs to be fixed.
Please. Thank you so much for your comments. Any other board questions or comments?
Well, this is a lot to digest, so I kind of want to see how the rest of the board is feeling about how to move forward. I like you said, Ivy, I think we care about doing the right thing. And so we are doing our due diligence in hearing every side. But this is a lot for us to take a look at and make any kind of decisions or conversation on. So is it possible for us to be able to take some time outside of this meeting so that we can have a chance to read through what Ivy's presented.
Can always make a motion to table again. We've already tabled once. I
do
think
that.
Dr. Foley has recommended that we do vote on this policy tonight.
And with the opportunity to make amendments
We can always go
later with the
back.
policy committee.
We can always go back to policy and look at revisions if someone wants to present alternative language.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay. Without any other comments or questions from the board, I'll take a vote. All those in favor? And those opposed? Thank you. Okay, we'll open up to our moving on to new business. Item 6.1, to approve, I'll entertain a motion to approve Fix It Fundamentals as a new course offering at Winthrop High School for the 2026 to 2027 school year.
So moved.
Seconded.
And
guys.
discussion.
How are you guys tonight? Happy holidays to all of you. For those that don't know me, my name is Todd MacArthur. I'm the tech ed industrial arts teacher at Winthrop High School. I've been here for 21 years. And I provide a lot of offerings in my class, from intro to tech and metal, introductory to metal, introductory to wood, from pre-engineering to welding to building construction. And you know, one of the things that I've realized in my 20 years as things progressed is that education's changing a little bit. It's getting harder for a variety of different reasons, and that's not what this is about, but like from attention spans to behaviors. And it got me thinking about how can I change with the times of being a better teacher to address the needs of my students. And by being here 21 years, I've also had a lot of former students that now are adults, and they're in the stages of buying cars by themselves, buying homes and starting a family. And that actually makes me feel old, but it makes me feel proud to see these kids grow up. So I'm thinking to myself, well, that's kind of cool about how they're all accomplishing different tasks in life and successes. And I'm like, well, how can I better serve that purpose for them through what I teach? So I introduced to you Fix It Fundamentals, and what the whole purpose of the class is this. It is a hands-on course designed to teach essential real-world repairs and maintenance skills. Students will learn how to handle common tasks such as patching drywall, changing tires on their vehicles, rotating tires on their vehicles, replacing electrical outlets, fixing minor plumbing issues, and troubleshooting small appliances or any other household needs or automotive needs that they may own, so that they don't have to go spend a lot of money for repairs through outside, contractors, maintenance shops. And I want to give those skills the needs to be better homeowners, better car owners. And I thought, well, this is something that I can offer. So there's tons of things that we're able to do that I'm excited about, in the sense of, and getting back to the attention spans, like a class could be kids walk in. Today, we're going to learn how to change the oil in a vehicle. And that can be one lesson plan for the day. So many little lectures that I do throughout the semester that we can accomplish these tasks and teach kids how to do these essential needs that I think are beneficial for these kids to go into the real world that we've kind of gotten away from in general in society. So if there's any questions, I feel I have any questions answered. So it's up to you. Yes.
Will you be doing hands-on, like with the real appliances and changing?
So like, in terms of, I've gotten to that, appliances, like obviously very light things. So the safety risks, like electrical, would not be live electricity flowing through it. It would be, wiring a two-way switch, a three-way switch, parallel. I'm not going to put live electricity through it. So that way there's no danger of them getting electrocuted or hurt severely in my class. Because we talk about the safety of students. That's the #1 priority in my class, because I deal with that every day. Yeah.
I just think it's really awesome that we're bringing back these type of things.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that I do today, I mean, I pretty much work a lot on my house, my own.
Yep.
Besides Google videos.
YouTube University.
But I got to say, it's the
Really.
teachers like you
Yeah.
is what has built those skills, and I
Thanks.
appreciate you
think-
bringing
I
that
think
in
it's
for our
imperative
students.
that we utilize these type of skill sets to, you know,
100%.
better the kids. And one of the things I'll say, I have a wide array of students in my class, from the kids that really need it to Gianni sitting here, who's a wonderful young man that's going to accomplish great things in a high institution. It's a really good class where we have a good mixture of the clientele in our school. And I'm really proud of that, in the sense of, you know, a lot of kids want to take my classes, and I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for offering that for our kids.
I think it's great. Who didn't become an adult and go, why did nobody teach me any of these things that I don't know how to do and I have to rely on YouTube to help me figure out? So this is an incredibly valuable class. I'm really appreciative that you're offering it
Thank you.
at the school.
Generation.
I'm wondering if there's a prerequisite or if anyone can take it.
So this one's going to be no prerequisite.
Do you want to take it, Alicia?
So for sure. So what I like to do is, you know, like, I'd like to reach kids that normally wouldn't take my class too. Like, because I have clientele that probably going to be steered toward the direction of my classes and then into the trade schools and things like that. I think this would be great to try to get any kid into it that would be interested in, because I think it's important, you know, like just learning how to, you know, maintain your home and maintain your house. I know that that's a never ending battle when you're a
Mhm.
homeowner. And if you don't do it, then your house falls apart. So.
Absolutely. I can't, yeah. And
And
so
it's
I'm
very expensive if you don't know how to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Very much so. And a lot of times too, it's hard in these days to find a contractor.
Yes.
Especially for small jobs, because a lot of times they want those big jobs. So you might wait weeks on end. I was just talking to a colleague of mine, and she had a basement flood, and she just needed the bottom 2 feet of her basement drywalled. Well, no one wanted to do that because it wasn't a big job. So she really struggled to find somebody. And if you know how to do that stuff, then, I mean, it might not be as good,
Right.
but you can take care of it.
And is it open 9 through 12 as well?
9 to 12.
Okay.
I'm not going to put my stamp of approval on that because it hasn't been decided yet. But I would like it to be, you know, I would like to get all the kids to take it if they want to through their course of 4 years. Because in our being such a small school, course offerings and what they have to take, you know, sciences, English, and math, those come first. So a lot of kids don't always get a chance to take what they want in my world, unless so over a course of 4 years, if they got that chance, they could take it.
Thank you so much. Any other
And-
board questions or comments?
And you did the second reading on the graduation requirements tonight, which expands how many electives kids can
Mhm.
take. So
Yeah.
that
Right.
this is one of the opportunities
Yeah.
that the kids would have. So I think that's great. Thanks,
Yeah.
Todd.
Yes.
Just one more question. Is there plans to expand on this if it's successful? You know, the principal.
I mean, I think that let's see how it implemented, see how it goes. And I mean, one of the things I'm going to figure out, just like we all do in life, we're going to screw up. What's good, what's bad, what was a good unit, what unit didn't intrigue kids. Like, that's one of the things that I've always done in my class, because I had the variety of options of, yeah, I have a unit, but the project doesn't have to be the same. So like, if that project was crap, I can just get rid of it and do a different one. So that's one of the things I'd like to see. If I have a list of basic units, you know, and I want to see if that intrigues the kids, as it doesn't, and then kind of refine what it is. But yeah, I mean, whatever it may be, if it's successful, then it's successful.
All that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
All
welcome.
those in favor? Perfect. Well, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Intro to Theater Technology as a new course offering at Winthrop High School for the 2026-2027 school year.
So moved.
Seconded.
Todd's a tough act to follow. I'll try my best. Hi, my name is Danny Gay. I am the new theater teacher at the high school and middle school. I teach the media and pop culture class as an elective, as well as several other theater-based classes. This is my first year teaching theater. Before I was an elementary school teacher, and before that an ESL teacher. But I've done theater for over 30 years, so it is not new to me. I run a children's theater program in Monmouth as well for the community theater. And so one thing, like Todd said, is trying to reach students that wouldn't typically take your classes. So a lot of the classes I teach right now, stagecraft, acting, playwriting, are really geared towards kids that are interested in theater, but a lot of kids are interested in technology, especially. And there's a lot of really cool technology that is specifically theater-based, like learning about lighting, theater productions, or learning how to edit and put together sound or sound effects for plays. And then also projection is a new thing in theater where students get to create their own projections or use projections to create scenery on stage. And if you've ever gone to like a professional show like Broadway, they do some really cool things with projection mapping where they can like put the projections just around the stage or only on certain set pieces and things like that. So I'm trying to reach some students that might love technology but might not want to be on stage. There are a lot of students I know that like to do backstage work. And the purpose of narrowing it down to only 3 parts of theater is that it gives me more time to investigate each section of those theater skills with students. I do teach a general stagecraft class right now, but that has 5 or 6 skills in the 12 weeks that we have in the semester. So this really narrows in on the technology focus. So learning about safety practices with this equipment, giving students hands-on opportunities to create art and evaluate one another's art. And then also to learn about what is happening professionally and current day. Another thing that I hope to move forward with in the future is upgrading the lighting system in the Performing Arts Center to be LED, because that is the current industry standard. And so I hope to use these classes to teach students about some of these more recent industry standards like projected scenery and LED lighting technology, because when I was in school, I learned on what currently is being used in the Performing Arts Center, but that's about 15 years out of date now. So I want to provide the opportunity for students to learn about current practices in theater technology and hopefully reach some of those students that might not normally want to take a theater class.
Thank you so much. Any questions from the board? Ivy?
I just want to say this is awesome. As a parent who watched her child go from being very quiet behind the scenes to out on front stage and in many of the positions in some of the drama plays in our school, it's amazing to watch how much this really helps a lot of students. I do know a lot of the amazing kids that were behind the scenes creating a lot, and they don't often always get all the big kudos the ones out in the front do. But I really think this is admirable to bring out for those students that really want to get into that and then can implement it into a lot of the different stuff that they do in their daily lives as well, with the TikTok videos and all that other stuff they like to do. So I might be wrong because I'm old school, so sorry. I might be out of date, but I think this is awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
No, I agree. Just that it sounds like a really fun class. So thank you so much to you and Todd for expanding the offerings that our kids at the high school have.
All right, thank you.
All those in favor? Thank you. Unanimous vote. Okay, item 6.3, I'll entertain a motion to consider and approve to employ Susan Brennan as an adult education high set instructor.
So moved.
Seconded.
We'd like to welcome Susan back to Adult Ed. She worked for us previously, and she has been working in Adult Ed in some capacity since 2015 in various districts. And so we are excited to have someone like Susan joining us with this much experience.
Wonderful. Any questions or comments?
Nope.
All those in favor? Welcome back to Susan Brennan. Unanimous vote. Okay, we have our second public comment section. For those online or those in the room who would like to speak, we just ask that those online raise their hand digitally, and then those folks who are in the room to come up to the podium and share your name and location.
No one online.
Hi, my name is Amy Griswold. I am a parent of 3 students here in Winthrop. I have 1 in the middle school and 2 in the elementary school. And I'm speaking with you today about the attrition in our school district, specifically in band and chorus from the elementary school to the high school. My daughter is an avid performing arts student who has participated in community theater since she was about 5 years old. She loved band and chorus in elementary school. This year in middle school, she decided not to participate in band, but to continue with chorus. However, earlier this week, she actually dropped out. The reason she made this decision was because she was having to miss academic class time and her grades were suffering due to being removed from class to participate in chorus. I've talked with several other parents who have students who have done the same, and they were even failing their classes because they were having to miss class time to participate in these activities. We recently attended the middle and high school band and chorus concert, and I was very sad to see that the high school only had 3 chorus members. I can only attribute this from the fact that we have about 30 students in band and chorus in the elementary school to 3 in the high school, due to the fact that we do not have dedicated class time for band or chorus starting in the middle school. Last semester, my student was able to take her elective courses. She took theater with Mr. Gay, which she loved. And this semester, or this trimester, she's taking a course called Zen Kids Club, which they are participating in meditation and journaling and yoga. I think that these are incredible life skills to have, and I don't want to diminish those courses or that course. But I believe that if we're able to make dedicated time for that class, we should also be able to find dedicated time for band and chorus, which are equally important to the development of our students and our culture here in Winthrop. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other public comments?
No.
Okay, seeing none, we'll close our public comments section and open it up to school board comments, if there are any.
None, just a thank you to Ivy. This is her last meeting. Appreciate your time on the board.
Thank you, Erica. Okay, moving on to item of business number 9, our executive session. So all those who are in the room who've been invited, we ask that you stay behind, and the folks that have not been invited, you are free to leave. Thank you.
Good to see you, Joseph.
We do have,
I know,
Yep.
it's impressive. He can go board meeting.
Some really cool classes. So it's exciting.
That is really, both of those are really great.
it's fine. Don't try to.
Have a lot of those ed classes. The school used to be in the middle school. I think some of those rooms still exist. Like
That what kind of class?
Yeah, when I went to school there was a shop class, there was.
There's action after. You want it? Yeah. Okay. I will make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss the progress on goals by the superintendent pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056A.
So moved.
Seconded.
And all those in favor? Unanimous, thank you. The Winthrop School Board is coming out of executive session at 7:02. And then we are going to vote to enter into executive session under 9.2. Entertain a motion to extend the superintendent's contract for the 2026 to 2027 school year.
So moved.
Seconded.
And all those in favor? Okay. We are not entering into a second executive session, my mistake. I did, because I was reading it. Thank you.
Well, they were both under the executive session.
So I was reading.
I,
I figured it out. All right, well, without objection, I declare this meeting adjourned at 7:03.